Hey guys, Scripted here with another video. Mark Hamill, come on, dude. Why, man? like, Mark Hamill said some really dumb stuff over the years. He's definitely very emotional over certain issues. But regardless of what you think of some of the stuff he said in the past, this one to me is so blatantly dumb. And I don't understand how he wouldn't realize that we all saw what happened. So this is just... Anyways. Mark Hamill condemns AI actors after letting Disney digitally rebuild him. Yeah, like, what are you doing? We already know. Oh my gosh. Mark Hamill is warning Hollywood about the terrifying future of AI performers. In a new Variety interview, the Star Wars veteran blasted the rise of synthetic actors as ghastly, ghoulish, and weird. Now, I've talked about this before. I think I did a video, last week about AI, or a couple weeks ago. And I get it. It sucks. I'm not a fan. I don't like that people are going to lose their jobs, but I get why they're doing it too. Imagine having a low-maintenance actor. Mark Hamill constantly tweets about politics, constantly puts his stuff out there. I've said it a million times. Guys like Daniel Day-Lewis, you don't hear him because he does his job. He talks about his politics with the people in his circle. He doesn't announce it to the world. Same with Keanu Reeves. There are many others that understand the job. The job is to entertain. We don't want to hear about your personal feelings about every single issue in the world. We just don't care. And somebody like Mark Hamill who does that constantly, he's one of the reasons they want to go to AI so they don't have to deal with any of the drama that comes with these actors. Look at Amandla Stenberg, the amount of drama she's created. All these people, they just create drama. So if I'm a major corporation, I'm like, you know what? If I can just have an AI actor, I will pay good money to just have that agency and their AI actor so I don't have to deal with this real life person who can't keep their mouth shut. You know, and even though I support Gina Carano and I felt like what they did to her was wrong, I still maintain that she should not be tweeting about politics. If you're wanting to maintain your career, just maintain your career. Don't worry, keep that stuff to yourself. I'm not saying what she said was wrong. I'm simply saying if you keep it to yourself, then there's no ammunition, right? Because essentially an actor is selling themselves. And you don't want to give ammunition to anybody, whether it's a whole bunch of fans, the guy you're working for, whoever it is. So, but for Mark Hamill to be talking like this is so hypocritical and ridiculous. And there's obviously more to this. While promoting Mike Flanagan's The Life of Chuck, Hamill was asked about Tilly Norwood, an AI-generated actress rumored to be signing with talent agencies. His reaction was grim. It's terrifying. After I pass away, are they going to go to my family and say, we'll pay you all this money so we can do him at age 28 or whatever they do? Now, there's rumors that went around a few years ago, before he was in The Mandalorian, before he was digitally altered, right, which is what we're talking about here, in The Mandalorian, that he had sold his likeness to Disney for some tens of millions of dollars. I think the rumor I had covered was like $30 million or something that they paid him. Now, we don't know if that's 100% sure. I looked it up today. It's telling me it's not confirmed. That's according to the AI, according to Reddit. It's rumor. We don't know. No one's come out and officially said that it's happened. But if you use an actor's likeness, you're getting paid. I was on with Papa South on Saturday, and he brought up the guy who plays Marty McFly and how they essentially took another actor and put makeup and prosthetics on his face to look like the guy who plays Marty McFly. I can't remember his name offhand right now, in Back to the Future. For Back to the Future 2, he sued them and won. He sued the studio for using his likeness and won. So you legally have to pay people to use your likeness, which brings us back to Mark Hamill, who seems to be forgetting that he's already done this with Disney. He has been altered digitally to look younger. It's like, bro, did you think we were going to forget? Why are you making these comments? we're not all just a bunch of morons. There's plenty of stupid people out there, but not everybody, Mark. He even questioned the ethics of posthumous likeness deals. Would Gene Kelly have wanted to be a spokesman for a vacuum cleaner? I don't know. It's too many unanswered questions. By the way, this just dawned on me as well. Peter Cushing's family is suing Disney for using his likeness in Rogue One. Apparently they didn't have the permission to do so. I don't know what ended up happening with that case, if it's still ongoing or if Disney settled. But yeah, Mark got paid to use his likeness. Like, what are you talking about, Mark? Hamill's statements paint a dark picture of Hollywood's technological ambitions, but it's a stance that becomes much harder to defend once you look at how Disney already used AI to recreate him with his blessing. Yeah. Like, dude, what are you on? Hamill's return as Luke Skywalker to The Mandalorian. I already talked about that. In The Mandalorian, Hamill performed on set, but Lucasfilm used machine learning and composting tools to overlay a young Luke's face onto his body and that of a stand-in actor, Max Lloyd-Jones. And he would have been paid for letting them do that. It wasn't pure CGI, rather, AI-assisted de-aging, based on archival footage and neural network mapping. Okay, but it was still using AI. In other words, when Hamill warns of AI actors, he's already been one. Disney built an artificial version of his face and voice using the very techniques he now calls ghastly. The only difference is that Hamill approved it and got paid for it. And this is where a lot of his tweets about other topics also resonate with a level of hypocrisy. Not all of them, but a good chunk of them. And this is why I said at the beginning, just shut up and entertain. All you're doing is creating more stuff for us to make fun of you and think you're an idiot with. Hamill's moral panic over AI sounds noble until you remember how many of his paychecks have come from the same technology. Disney's digital Luke was celebrated as a technical triumph, and Hamill publicly supported it. Now he's recoiling from the contempt conveniently when studios start experimenting with AI actors that don't need legacy stars at all. And that's the issue. He's perfectly fine if they use his likeness from when he was younger and pay him a whole bunch of money to do so. But he doesn't like that it's not an actor's likeness. It's completely separate from any actor. It's a made-up actor. The distinction seems less about principle and more about power. When the studio uses AI to glorify an existing brand and cut Hamill in the deal, it's progress. When that same technology might create competition to undermine celebrity control, it suddenly becomes terrifying. He also seemingly balked at the idea of his family being able to make money from his likeness after his death. It's an easy line to draw when your image has already been immortalized in pixels. Exactly. Hollywood's relationship with digital resurrection has always been selective. Peter Cushing's face was reanimated for Rogue One. Carrie Fisher was digitally recreated for both Rogue One and The Rise of Skywalker. Harrison Ford was de-aged by AI-assisted tools for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Every time the industry cheered the spectacle. And what this article is implying, right, is that it's about power. As long as they get to stay in and make their money for doing nothing, essentially, right? So it's okay as long as these actors are getting paid, but it's not okay if they decide they're going to use a new face that isn't an actor's face. Very interesting. And honestly, I think all this is going to do is make the studios push for AI even more. Okay, Mark, you're going to be an idiot and be a donkey, and we've paid you all this money, and you've been part of this, and now you're going to talk smack? Well, guess what? Screw you. We're going to go even further into it faster than we were before. But now when AI threatens to eliminate the need for stars altogether, those same voices cry foul. The difference isn't morality, it's money. Exactly, and that's the issue. Fine, if you want to complain that you're not going to be getting paid and that's where you're at, then say that. But he implies that it's like a moral issue. It's terrifying and this and that. Okay, but the reason you're terrified is because you just want to get paid, right? That's what the issue is. And if that's the issue, I don't actually think that that's wrong. I get why the studios are going to do it, but I have no problem with an actor saying, hey man, like, this is bullcrap. I do this for a living and you're taking that away from me. That's fair, but that's not what he said. Mark Hamill's career was built on cutting-edge storytelling, but his newfound crusade against AI actors feels less like a warning from a wise Jedi and more like fear from someone who already saw his replacement on screen. Well, and it's not like Mark Hamill's got, projects lined up out the wazoo anyway. His career is reaching its end, and actually he should look back with fondness. He should be happy. He should be happy he was alive when he was alive and he's not a young actor now. That's what he should be happy about. When the same technology that made Luke Skywalker immortal starts putting legacy actors out of business, suddenly the ghastly future doesn't look quite so heroic. Yeah, so again, it's hypocritical. If you really were worried about AI and de-aging and all this stuff, then you wouldn't have done it yourself. Right, essentially. You would have been against it and said, no, I'm not doing that. Hire Sebastian Stan, go, recast. I'm a recast guy. I've had videos about this going back years. Recast. That's not what he's done, though. He's gotten a paycheck for allowing them to use his likeness, and now he's complaining about it. It's just classic Mark Hamill hypocrisy. He just needs to shut up and go away, because honestly, guys, like, he just makes stupid comments constantly. It's fun to make fun of. I'll make fun of it, but really, dude, like, just stop. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comment section what you think. If you like this content, please like, subscribe. Always helps the channel. Feel free to check anything else on my channel. Have yourselves a very good day.